And members of the Budget and Appropriations Committee have criticized the supplementary funding request by various ministries, departments and state agencies, saying they were abusing the constitutional provisions and defying the budget-making cycle. This is after a report of the Controller of Budget revealed that 18 MDAs had written to the National Treasury requesting funds for various projects amounting to 15.2 billion shillings, barely 2 months since the approval of the annual budget estimates. And as Chemutai Goin reports, some of the requests include a 400 million shilling request by the Office of the State Comptroller to purchase motor vehicles.
When the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, appeared before the Budget and Appropriations Committee, she revealed insensitive proposals by government ministries and departments that sought a supplementary budget to fund other items out of the approved budget. Leveraging on Article 223 of the Constitution, which sets the threshold for projects that can be funded through a supplementary budget, the 18 ministries, departments and agencies between 28th July and 13th September this year, barely a month after the annual budget was read, wrote to the National Treasury seeking additional funding. Dr. Nyakango, however, says no money has so far been disbursed.
Even Article 223 has fallen victim of the same cash flow issues. So they have gone to the Treasury, they have justified why they need Article 223, but no money to give them.
In what was heavily criticized by the members was the Controller of Budget's revelation that the Office of the State Comptroller had requested 400 million shillings for the purchase of motor vehicles at a time when Kenyans were dealing with more pressing matters. Similarly, the State Department of the East African Community had also written to be allocated 16 million shillings for the purchase of the Cabinet Secretary's official vehicle. Meanwhile, at the State Law Office, a requisition of 250 million shillings had been made to cater for the refurbishment of the registry and to create office space for the Attorney General and the Solicitor General. Some of the budget lines termed by members as unmerited.
I'm glad there was no money to be given, but even if that money was there, they don't meet the threshold, if you notice. So ministries are also violating the budgetary process by actually budgeting behind.
I'm also surprised we are only in the first quarter of the new financial year and we are seeing such a long list under 223. And most of the expenditures we are seeing in that list are expenditures that are not unforeseen. They are expenditures that should have been included in the budget.
We as a committee agreed that the misuse of Article 223 is something that we should deal with.
With the most recent fuel review having shot pump prices off the roof as they hit a record high, it emerged that the Energy Ministry had also written to the National Treasury seeking over 1.8 billion shillings for the stabilization of petroleum products between August and September this year. Details showing that though the Petroleum Development Levy had been used to cushion Kenyans from the high cost, the monies had been insufficient.
If it is for subsidies on fuel, then I think that could be one of the best requests that is under 223.
To actualize President William Ruto's 2nd August pledge to farmers that the government will provide drying facilities to cater for post-harvest losses, the Crop Development State Department saw 2.2 billion shillings from the National Treasury to purchase the necessary equipment. They also requested an additional 250 million shillings for the refurbishment of storage facilities at the NCPB.
Out of the big list that we had on the Article 223, I don't think there is anything that is supposed to be there in terms of Article 223, apart from maybe the dryers on the post-harvest.
On 7th August this year, the State Department for Ourselves, in a bid to respond to the humanitarian situation arising from the drought menace between July and September, requested 2 billion shillings for the kitty. They also asked for an additional 2.6 billion shillings to respond to incidents of displacement bound to arise during the period within which the country will face El Nino rains. The Controller of Budget said all the requests had been approved, but no monies had been disbursed so far, as the coffers were empty. The Budget Committee members vowing to institute punitive measures against ministries, departments and agencies that were misusing the provision of Article 223, saying it should only be reserved for priority matters. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV.